Penance RPG and its affiliate sponsor, D&Dice, makers of dice for all types of heroes, proudly presents Plummet, Falling in the Dark, a Penance RPG adaptation. This bard's tale, as is customary in these parts, may contain strong adult themes, cursing, and high adventure. For now, time turns, the path is open. Let the story commence.
Welcome to episode 19 of Plummet. So, who are you? What are you? And in honor of National Kazoo Day, what is your favourite song to hear on the kazoo? Starting with Bellry.
What is a kazoo day?
January 28th is National Kazoo Day, recognising over 200 years of kazoo music.
Kazoos have been around for 200 years?
Yep.
What? I thought they were
The first kazoo was made in the 1940s, apparently. Even though it says 200 years of kazoo music.
That's not 200 years.
I know it's not, but this website's weird, but apparently it is National Kazoo Day.
That's not even close to 200 years, though.
Yeah.
That's a significant error of margin.
Oh, it's because they weren't patented as the kazoo until 1883.
Right.
Even though that was done on January the 9th, so fuck knows why it's today, but apparently it is. Anyway.
Well, I guess I'm Bellry. Hey, I'm playing a severed head. The severed head of Tyke possessed by Danny Pockets. Danny Satchel, sorry. I wonder how many more times that's going to happen. Let's just go with Sandstorm. I imagine that would sound alright on a kazoo.
Taking my answer.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, tough shit. Maybe next time you should pick a more alphabetically prioritized name.
Next time I'll just call my character AJ.
Yeah. But like
Amy?
with 3 A's.
Okay, next we have Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy. I play Frankie. He's our human disciple. And I'm going to go with Let It Snow. Because it's been snowing.
Does that sound good, Nikazoo?
I don't know. I'm kind of running it through my head and I think it sounds okay.
Right, okay. AJ?
Hi, I'm AJ. I play Igneous, the Geomancer. Bellry stole my answer, so I'm going to have to go with the Venga bus.
That would probably work quite well in the kazoo, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a thing on YouTube, but I can't quite find... Oh, there's one here, but it's like 4 minutes long. Somebody's done the whole song on a kazoo.
Oh my god.
So, next we have Lanida.
Hello there, it's me, Stu Nicola Nin, or Stunnin for short. I'm a female human skirmisher, and I would probably love to hear Spanish Flea as a kazoo song, yes.
I've forgotten about this character.
And finally, Ash.
Hello, this is in the Gloaming. She's Tabaxi's Shadow Walker. And my favourite piece of music to hear on a kazoo is 4 minutes and 33 seconds by John Kennedy.
It's a good choice.
Is that the silence one?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Good.
It's a very well written silence.
So, if you would like to hear samples of each of these songs and our reactions, we will include it at the very, very end of this episode. So, yeah, I don't know why you would, but if you, just in case you do.
That's gonna be awesome.
So, it's time to open the book and find out what happened last week. So, Dragon, if you please.
Following the death of the dragon, the party joined Igneous in the pub, but even this reunion couldn't lighten their somewhat doused spirits. Baron Gregory introduced them to an unusual skirmisher, Stu Nicola Nin, a deep-voiced and imposing human woman. However, the lack of payment had left the group's morale at rock bottom, and any conversation was few and far between. This was not improved when a scholar burst through the doors to the pub, crying that they had made a marvellous discovery in the battle against the undead, and that there was hope in stopping the horde. He spoke at length of a golden helmet and a skull totem, and of an ancient seal which could be used to once and for all vanquish the invading undead, or at least prevent more from being raised. The grumpy mood only soured further when it became apparent that this adventure required another trip through the sewers. After genuinely debating the merits of tossing Danny over the wall, the party finally ventured onwards, discovering that beyond the sewers was a cave, and around the entrance to this cave were many, many zombies of all shapes and sizes, blocking their path. Frankie took aim with his powerful staff, but only succeeded in alerting the horde as his fireball exploded in the air like a gorgeous firework. Realising the zombies are now paying them some unwelcome attention, the rest of the party took aim and cut down several undead with their bows and crossbows. Danny Satchel, not to be outdone by his ranged compatriots, charged into the melee, swinging his hammer at the zombies, only for it to fly from his grip and collide with the roof of the cave, becoming wedged and out of the reach of the scrambling Danny. With arrows and bolts flying left and right at the horde around him, Danny was inevitably struck by several friendly fire arrows, piercing both his arms and pelvis, before a stray fireball from Frankie took out his leg. After realising that many of his injuries came from the hand of Igneous, Danny cursed the dwarf that he would ever be haunted by the spirit of Danny Satchel. Frankie tried as he could to save Danny, but instead managed to accidentally hasten the departure of Danny from the mortal coil, finding himself another target of the dying accountant's curse. The remaining zombies were eventually cut down, not before many had gorged themselves upon the still twitching corpse of Danny, and the enchanted hammer was retrieved from the roof. The party contemplated what to do with the remains of Danny, and while Igneous and Frankie seemed to twitch, like a voice from beyond was screaming at them to leave him be, Danny was quickly looted and his body left amongst the dead as the party continued on. As the party stared into the gloom, Igneous seemed to have had enough of being cursed and commanded the spirit of Danny Satchel to enter the skull of Tyke, which he still carried. Whilst Danny did not approve, he was powerless to resist, and as the spirit of the undead accountant entered the skull, it began to reanimate once more, this time blending the spirits of Tyke, Danny, and the zombie. Upon finding another golden helm and skull totem, the party decided to only take the helm, which, when removed from the pressure plate, opened the hidden door that awaits them now.
And lo, the story continues. So, at the end of last week's episode, you opened a tunnel, and the severed head of Danny was also put into, was it Tyke's skull? Was Igneous still has on him?
His spirit, I think.
Hey, I'm a creepy head.
So, Danny
My
is
main
now,
head.
Danny and Tyke and Zombie are all together as a creepy head.
Yeah, it's a real menage a trois over here, guys.
I'm so disturbed.
Yes.
So, you open the tunnel, and you begin to head your way through the tunnel sort of deep into the earth. As you descend downwards, you see in front of you a blood trail leading all the way down towards a door, and as you get to the door, you see that it's a big heavy looking stone door. It has a looks like a very heavy stone bar put across it to stop it opening. What do you do?
Is the
What
blood
kind of
still
stone
fresh
does it
and
look
wet,
like?
or is it all dried?
The blood is very, very dried.
What kind of stone does it look like, geology standpoint?
This looks like very sort of pale stone, like very, very old pale stone.
Can I do a check?
You can, yes.
Boom.
It just seems to be a very old stone.
This stone's been here a while, folks.
Yeah, it seems...
Okay.
It's, you know when you get like very ancient stone?
As a geomancer, I certainly do.
Yes.
As
It's
opposed
like very
to
much
all
of the
those
of the very bottom tiers of mountains ancient stone.
So, quick question, Igneous. Do you get stoned a lot?
If by that you mean do I enjoy a good quarry, then yes.
Oh, yeah.
Who doesn't? Losers, that's who.
That's funny. That's really funny.
I'm a funny guy.
I can
Unappreciated in my time.
Okay, yeah.
Shall we have a look at this stone bar? See if we can maybe jimmy it out?
Yeah, or break it, perhaps.
Yes, see which
Good
way
luck
is
breaking that.
Well, let's have a look for weaknesses at least. Maybe we can crack at it nice.
Might be easier to break the door. Save
Oh,
the
let's
nice
do
bit
that
of stone there.
Can I roll an awareness check to have a look at the door, see if there's any weaknesses?
Yep. You look at the door. The door seems to be sealed quite strongly in the middle. It seems like sort of two hafters open straight down the middle, rather than it being like one big door that opens across the way.
Can I roll an arcana check then?
It seems very thick and very heavy.
I mean, we could just lift the bar off, right?
You can just lift the bar off, yeah.
Let's try and lift it then. All together?
All right, I'll get this end.
I'll take the middle.
Hey, I'll just sit here looking pretty.
Yes. You can survey that we all do the job. Whispers, do you want to have a look? Just keep an eye out, or help us?
Oh, Mr. Igneous, sir, where am I? It's been dark.
Tyke.
It's been
You're in
very
a box.
dark.
You're in a box on my belt, and it's dark in here anyway. So
Why am I in a box? And how big a box?
Is that Tyke?
it's about the size of your head.
Hey, who's the kid? Why is there a kid in here?
It's my son.
What? I completely forgot Tyke's voice for a second. What do you mean, Mr. Igneous, sir?
Well, me and your mum, we let's just say, had a little fling, and also you got your head cut off, and now you're in a box. So now you're all caught up. You're also sharing your head with a weird little accountant man, and also the head's kind of a bit of a zombie still. I wouldn't worry about it if I were you.
That's why you're in the box.
Oh, jeez, Mr. Igneous.
Hey, what was that? What was that guy?
There's also a dot matrix printer in there with you. Might fire up every once in a while.
Look, I'm not gonna lie, this may be one of the more challenging things I've roleplayed as. Got a bit of a slack on my dot matrix impression.
Oh god, as long as it's not a daisy chain printer, you'll be fine.
Even with his distraction, did we still lift the
You open the
bar off?
you lift the bar off, and then you just manage to drop it to the side, and it crushes to the ground and does seem to shatter in half.
Oh, boy, that was a nice bit of rock, that. Oh, shame.
It was very heavy, and it hit the ground with a very hard thud.
I look at Stu, who was clearly not holding up their end of the bargain on this.
I was in
Be
the middle.
careful. Well, yeah,
It
you
was
know.
actually a +5 on that, but I didn't want to brag about my strength or anything.
Even I rolled higher than you. And I'm a wizard. I'm a disciple.
Yes, you are clearly.
There's a vibe in here all of a sudden. I'm not quite sure I understand.
Right. Moving on then. Let's have a look through this door.
Yes.
Okay. So you're just gonna pull the door open, yeah?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you pull the door open, and immediately there's a strong smell of death.
How overpowering is the smell?
It's very much like sort of old death, like a sort of crypt.
Oh, okay then.
Oh. Yeah. That might be Danny.
Oh, geez, guys, it smells like that abbey on top of that mountain again. Oh, why was it that got bit by zombies? Was that an abbey?
I
It
think
wasn't
so.
Abby, yeah.
Yeah.
At least I think it was an abbey.
Don't worry about it, Tyke. At least no one can shoot you in the dick this time.
Hey, well, he's got a point there, kid.
Not anymore, he doesn't.
Yeah, I remember someone telling me about that. How you living with that there, Igneous?
One day at a time.
Oh god.
So maybe we should traverse further in. Guys.
No, let's stay in this one bit of corridor for an hour.
Shall we do a dungeoneering check?
Let's just try and
make
make
sure-
sure there are actually traps and things around.
Yes. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'll do one as well.
I'd help, but you guys tore off my arms and my legs.
Oh, geez, that doesn't sound like the kind of thing they do.
No, we don't do stuff like that.
Hey, well, you learn something new every day, kid.
Yeah, especially not igneous.
You do an engineering check. There doesn't seem to be much about it. It seems a very solid, heavy door. As you look inside, you see there are several crumpled, very old-looking bodies that seem to be just bones and torn clothing. A couple of small personal effects, and there's what seems to be a very makeshift barricade about 10 meters or so from the door.
Well, that didn't help very much.
No.
Which way's the barricade facing?
Yeah.
The barricade's obviously to keep something from the other direction out.
Okay.
Well, maybe then we should head on through the barricades, so to speak.
Just a minute, I'm gonna check the pockets. If they have any pockets left.
Okay. You look through the remains. Roll me a d20, let's see what you find.
11.
You find quite a large, very heavy book that looks like a scribe's book.
Ooh,
You find a very dried out well of ink. You find a very simplistic quill. And you find a couple of discarded broken weapons.
I'm gonna toss the ink and the quill because it's like useless. I'll buy new ones later. And I'm gonna discard the weapons as well because they're just like crap. And can I just briefly flick through the book?
The book, it describes the daily occurrences of being in the King's Court of Terranoth. And you notice that a new sort of section has been created for basically a descent to rescue the Queen. There are several entries if you want me to read them.
Apparently this was created because they were trying to find some queen.
Are there any dates marked in it?
There doesn't seem to be dates marked though. There just seems to be like the 6th day of something, but whatever the something they used is illegible.
There's stories, there's entries and things. Does anyone want to read them, or shall we just leave them for another time?
Yes.
You read it out loud, Frankie. You've got such a good reading voice.
Of course not.
Do you want me just to read them to you?
Yes.
Okay. There's, let me just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 or 6 entries. It's in this new section. The first one talks about the king refuses his counsel. They have been gathered together to protect him as they push down to the darkness to save the queen. They don't know why they need so many of them to stop some daft bint who thinks she's a vampire, but the king's advisor, Terrell, insists upon having a guard.
That's a bit disrespectful towards the queen.
The second entry mentions that they've found a way in. The king seems obsessed by pushing on through, even though everyone's exhausted. Terrell again is both insisting but also trying to make him take his time, as he claims traps could be abundant and something wicked could be here. The king seems to be not listening very well. He's mentioned to several of the party that he can hear his queen's voice calling to him, telling him that she's near.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
The third entry mentions that the door mechanism seemed primitive. It required some cursed implement to open, and now they fear what it could have contained, and the smell of death is quite strong. If the queen had been taken here, it seems to have no way out once inside. They found several bones when they entered, kept in cages and tombs. Something feels unnatural here and no one feels at ease. The fourth entry says they have found a door. It's old and covered in the carving of a dragon. The king insists Queen Iona is actually behind this and will take no answer other than those who are willing to try and break the door down for him. He mentions a maid called Ospera, who seems to be studying the door to see if its magical as physical means is having little effect. The king is growing frantic. No one remembers the last time he slept, but Terrell seems to tell them he's fine despite the frenzy.
Do we recognise any of the names? Is this like a recent king or anything?
The king mentioned is King Edwin. You've never heard of a King Edwin.
I'm not from there anyway.
The woman sounds familiar.
Well, I mean, from what you've told me, vampires speaking in your head sounds like something you have experienced before.
Yes, and the king was going mad, so like the time when we were in that dungeon, we were repeating the same scene with that monster, that
Yes,
man.
you told me of something like that, yeah.
I think that's what she did to this king. She's gotten into his mind and stuck him somewhere, and I bet you these poor sods, well, obviously they all died, but they must have had a terrible time.
Probably yes.
Or maybe he was being haunted. I hear that happens from time to time.
But it speaks of a door with the dragon. That must be where... is that possible where the other seal is? Or
Yes.
where this woman lurks, that we could possibly destroy her?
Sounds like we might end up meeting this vampire lady. Yeah.
I did unfortunately meet her, and I mistook her for a fair damsel, but...
All right.
I was
Well, I
blinded.
won't do that same mistake, as I'm not interested in fair damsels.
Oh, classic Frankie. Always looking out for the women.
Ah, Tyke, my dear.
I missed you,
have
Tyke.
missed you.
There is one final entry.
Yep.
Let's hear it.
Okay. The final entry I'll just read you verbatim. It is with a heavy heart I record the final memory of King Edwin. We awoke to find no watch on guard and the door lying open. The king was knelt upon the floor, screaming obscenities at what seemed to be the body of a dragon before him. Before we could reach him, several creatures slinked from the shadows, spindly in stature with fangs and claws, and tore him to shreds. We tried to beat them back, but they seemed almost unkillable. We ran through the corridors, eventually following a blood trail which returned us to this door. The door remains steadfast despite our best efforts, and we fear we are trapped here. Food is beginning to run low, and we are struggling to keep the beast back while Osbert and Harold attempt to escape through shoulders and spells. If any find this journal, I implore you to take great care and avoid the shadows. Their sight is limited, but they respond to movement. Forgive our sins, and may Terranloth still flourish in our memory. Edward, scribe to King Edwin.
Oh, that sounds scary, guys. I don't think we should go there.
You're in a box. Don't worry about it.
Tyke, everything else is the least of your worries. You'll be fine. Loneliness is probably your most worry, because you'll be left on your own after we're all killed.
Oh, that's not very reassuring there, Frankie.
I might even get you some food if you're nice, just to, we'll just throw your zombie head on someone and you can just gnaw at them.
I don't think I've eaten in a good while, I'll be honest, whoever you are. I could really go for some food, maybe some brains.
I knew it was coming.
Well done.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was good.
Well, it said stay out of the shadows, or perhaps we should light a torch or something to just,
Yes.
that's the
does
kind
anyone
of
have a
shadow he's
torch?
talking about.
I tell you one thing, it's a good thing we haven't got Ebony Darkness with us. He wouldn't approve of that.
Oh, dear. Let's not be reminded of that one.
Sounds like a gloomy fellow.
Proper goth.
Proper goth.
Proper goth.
Yes, but not even a nice goth. Most
He even
goths are
painted his
nice.
nails.
Yep, we kept them in a small bag.
That's horrific.
I just have this image of this bag of nail clipping. That's disgusting.
Oh, I was thinking nails,
I was thinking actual nails. But
Hammond.
yeah,
Oh.
it doesn't work.
Oh.
Okay, so is it just one door straight in front of us, in front of the barricade?
Straight in front of you is the remnants of the barricade. The clothing that's lying around seems to be torn to bits as well. Ahead of you, there's quite a long corridor, and then it looks like another small doorway, and then there's something beyond that.
I can't help but thinking that we've just broken the seal on another evil place.
Well, maybe not a seal, because they were trying to get out this way.
Well, no, you broke the seal. You dropped it on the ground.
Well,
It's
it was
shattered.
just a stone thingy. It wasn't.
Yeah,
just,
but it was blocking the doors from opening.
Yeah, well, that's not a seal. That's just a barricade. Oh,
It literally sealed the door.
well, yeah. Well, I mean, we're here to stop the thing that's inside anyway, so
Are we? Is
Well, I am, anyways.
that why we came here?
Yes, to activate the thingy to make the
We did-
undead
yeah, but
go
we did-
away.
We did that. And
No.
then we
No,
came
I
downstairs.
Nope.
don't
We
think
ac-
it's that simple.
No,
Yeah,
we
I
actually have
thought
to
we
go
did that.
further in to activate the gem of some sorts.
If we just got the front door open, that's about
Yes.
it, I think.
I've been heavily drinking.
I was wondering why you were sweating a little.
Yes.
Just keeping the rhythm.
Right, shall we get some torches together and go ahead?
Yes.
Can we make sure that this door won't accidentally close behind it?
So what do you want to do about that?
Stick a couple of wedges in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a bit of the barricade and just put it in there.
Why don't we wedge these bones underneath the door like a doorstop?
Hey, I'm not sure I like the sounds of that, guys.
They're not your bones.
No, no, just
But also
grind
make
the
sure
bones.
it's something we can remove if we want to come out in a
Yeah.
hurry and shut the doors behind us coming out.
The broken weapons might work better, perhaps, if they're
Yeah,
sort of
that's a good
steel
idea.
and stuff.
Yeah, take a sword. Or a couple.
Okay, so you spend about 20 minutes or so creating this elaborate doorstop that means that the door can't close. What do you want to do now?
Shall we take off then, shall we?
Yes. I'm with you.
Let's light some torches and keep out of the shadows as best as possible.
Yes.
Okay, you descend along this passage and eventually come to the doorway as I mentioned. The passage seems to slope quite sharply downwards. It's not uncomfortable to walk down, but it definitely seems difficult to walk down and up, as in, if it was greased, it would be very difficult to get back out of. To the left, yes, left of you, there are several doorways. They look like they've been busted open. In each and one of them, there seems to be, it's like a sort of jail cell, containing just crumpled bones. No clothing, nothing else, just bones. Are you going to examine this room or move on?
Do they look like people bones or
They
animal
look like
bones?
humanoid species bones, so everything from human to dwarf to elf to either children or gnomes, whatever they could be.
Well, if we're lucky, it's an elf.
Can I roll an Arcana check just to get the vibe of the whole place?
Not like a feng shui check.
No, but it's more like a magical kind of feel. Just to
There is definitely something magical at the back of the room.
up there at the back. Something's stronger over there.
Okay. Well, I got an idea, guys, that maybe we should put something atop of the slope and just tie a rope to it, so if for some stupid reason the slope would be really greasy, we could have a rope to help us, get up in case we need to leave in a hurry.
Do you run into a lot of greasy slopes?
We've run into some
Stairs.
slippery slopes in the past. I think it's
Well,
a very
yeah.
good idea.
I've heard that
Yeah.
you guys have accounted at that before, but yeah, just an idea.
No, it's a good one.
What happened to give you such trust issues there, Stu?
Well, I'm a level-headed girl, even though the head is really high up, but yeah, experienced adventurer.
So I'll just do a makeshift, like take maybe one sword or something and try to wedge it into something up there and just tie a rope to it so it's safely secured that we can use to get up, just in case.
Yep, sure. So you tie a rope as it goes down. Are you going to dig through the bones at the back of the room, or what are you going to do?
I think we should check out the magical thingy that Frankie was talking about.
Yes, every time we meet something magical, it's rather important.
Yes.
My magical senses are tingling.
Ooh, it's you and the spider thingy, yeah. I've heard that spiders have the same thing.
We can stand watch if you want to check it out, Frankie.
Let's have a look.
I'll go with Frankie just to be a bodyguard, sort of, if anything
Okay,
happens
so
as well.
you
I'll just hang off this guy's ass.
That was the view.
you walk to the back of the room. It's just covered in bones. Are you wanting to dig through the bones to find what the magical thing is, or
Yeah, I'm gonna carefully lift them up and like move them
roll
to the
see
side.
what happens?
Oh no. Should I have used gloves? Oh no, that's a 3.
You do manage to cut your hand open on one of the bones, but you do scrape it clear.
Ow!
You notice that there seems to be something on the very, very back tile of the floor. Something is intrinsically carved into it. It seems to glow a very faint green.
Is it something we can sort of read and see what it says, or?
Yeah,
It seems to be some kind of symbol.
Is it like the gem we had earlier? There was 2 of them.
Which gem was that?
The gem that we didn't give to the dragon.
Oh no. It's
No,
not the same shape
different.
as that. It kind of looks like an infinity symbol, but
Okay.
it's more spiky and
Bit more metal.
sort of random, but it does kind of have that endless loop to it. It just seems like instead of it being this smooth, like 8 shape, it's much more like jagged and random and erratic.
Okay. Well, Frankie, go for broke.
Yes,
right
try and
here.
get it. So it's in a tile on the floor, like or okay.
Yep.
Is there any writing around nearby that I can look at?
No, nothing you can see. anywhere.
I don't really want to press it and then something bad happens.
Well, I mean, you could press it and maybe something good happens.
Let's press it. I'm gonna lay my hand on it.
Just the hand with the
Gingerly.
cut on it, or the other hand?
No, the other hand. The clean hand.
That's a very
See what
leading
happens.
question.
I was like, no, don't say that. Oh,
Do you
my
want to
God.
smear it with your blood, or do you not want to smear it?
No, I'm not gonna smear it with the blood.
You trace your finger over the symbol, nothing seems to happen, but it does emit this very gentle green glow.
Okay.
Can I do it the same with the cut hand?
You can if you want, roll.
Do I do that with it? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, do
Let's
it.
do it. Let's just do it. Maybe I'll
Yep,
heal
you
myself.
do it. A couple of drops of your blood fall into the symbol, but nothing seems to have an effect.
Do you want me to like hit it with my big rune hammer?
I don't know if we want to hit it or if we... I don't know how we're gonna get it out of the floor.
Ian, what do you mean your rune hammer? That's still mine.
You know, Danny, it's hard to swing a hammer with just your jaw. But if you have a really tight grip, you could just bite down on it, and then I could have Ignis swing it for you if you want to.
Yeah, but that ain't no proper law, sport.
Bod? I got stuck between boy and bud.
Listen up here, Bod.
Yeah. Well, let's just leave the thing for now. We know where it is, and maybe we'll get a clue to what it is later on.
Alright. We can't exactly dig it out of the floor right now anyway, so
No.
we'll just leave it there.
You return to the corridor. You're just going to continue along the corridor?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody about the rune, so... There's this thing on the floor. It's magical, but it's stuck there. I don't know what it does.
Maybe it's decorative.
Maybe. Seems an odd place to put it, though.
Well, it's glowing green when you touch it, so it might be something, worth remembering.
Well, as an expert on rare rocks and such, maybe it's uranium. Just saying.
Yeah.
Often
Right.
found in caves and whatnot.
Maybe it's something that's in your brainium. Yeah.
Right, let's carry on down this corridor and see where it leads.
I'm with you.
It was a weird comeback, but alright.
Yeah, it was horrible, I know, but I mean, what the fuck? I need to keep the same level as some of us here, so yeah.
So you go down the corridor, and you go through another doorway, and ahead of you on the left there seems to be like about maybe 2 meters, then another doorway, then 2 meters, another doorway, then 2 meters, another doorway. Like, it looks endless, like another corridor of where there's always these doorways about 2 meters apart on the left. Each of them look like cells, again look like been broken in and contain bones. To the right, about 10 meters down, there's another doorway.
There's some kind of skeleton prison.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we should check the other cells and see if there's similar, infinity symbols in them.
Yes, I'll run. Do I need to roll another Arcana check?
No, you don't need to. You go in and you look at the same place, and there's definitely the same symbol.
Okay, I'm gonna run my finger over it for the symbol again. See if that does anything.
Well, I'm just thinking that maybe because it's sort of an infinity symbol and all these cells just sort of continue on infinitum,
Maybe it's the same
Maybe it's
cell.
something. Yeah, maybe it's the same. Yeah,
Ah, maybe that witch is playing with our heads again.
might be that. Yeah.
Can
It's
you
the
see
same
any
cell
trace of
going on
your-
for infinity. Sorry, go on.
Well, can you see any trace of your blood on the tile on any of these other cells? Or on the first one?
Oh, that's an idea. Do I see it?
No, there are no traces of your blood.
No blood. So it's not the same cell.
Is there anything else in this room that we're in? I mean, not the cell, the one with the doors.
No. The corridor itself seems oddly quiet, but as I said, the doors on your left seem to continue on, like, until they get very much in the distance, like they seem almost infinite.
Yeah. Well, maybe, guys, we should check out the right door instead and just see where that takes us.
Yes.
Maybe it just needs more of your blood there, Frankie.
I think I've given enough of my blood recently.
Yeah, maybe we should just bandage up your arm.
Yes. I just wrap a little
Just
bit.
freely bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
Just, occasionally fountains
I didn't
blood
imagine
everywhere.
it was that bad though.
Just put like a massive slice open in your hand.
I'll wrap my finger. I'll wrap my hand up even.
So, what are you doing now?
So are we just changing direction or are we gonna
I
continue?
I think we should check out the right door first and see where that goes.
Yeah, something around here is infinite, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. You look through the right door. It leads down some large stone steps into what looks like some sort of cave containing, like, many, many frost crystals.
Chilling.
You notice it getting colder.
Can anyone maybe do an Arcana check on these
Yes, I
crystals?
can do that for you. Nope.
It just seems very cold to you.
It's very chilly. That's all I can tell you.
I love chili, but not in that sense.
I don't think anybody likes chili in that sense.
Can we see anything else in this room with crystals?
As you get to the bottom, you hold your torches up and you see it's like a sort of expanse of this cave, and maybe about 50-60 meters the other side there's some stairs that go up.
And that's it?
When you go downstairs to your left, you notice the cave seems to keep going, but to your right it seems to just have this, basically a wall, effectively.
So you would say that like the left part of the cave is sort of infinite going.
It doesn't seem to be infinite, you just can't seem to see the end of it with the relative light source you have now.
Okay. So guys, going up the stairs on the other side or taking the left down into the darkness? With our torches, of course.
Yeah, we got to keep that light level up.
Why don't we go up? Because I would imagine we might be able to see more the higher we go.
That's true.
Well, I mean, is the stairs just like going up in a cave sort of thing, or is it
As
that
you
you can see more?
look up the stairs and stand at the bottom of the other stairs going up, you hear the sound of...
Hey, that wasn't me that time.
And as you look to the top of the stairs, you see coming out of what looks like similar, like caged rooms, seem to be undead, who seem to walk into the corridor, then start shambling their way up and along the corridor.
See,
Towards
down
us or
towards
away
us?
from us?
You're basically standing side on as they're coming out of the cage, and they're coming out of the room they were in, turning to their left and going up past the doorway. After counting for about 2 or 3 minutes, you notice at least 100 undead walk past.
Let's avoid.
That doesn't sound really good. Let's maybe check out the left part of the cave instead.
Yeah, let's keep back, and
I'm sure if they escape, the Baron could deal with them.
we did leave the door open.
We did leave the door. We made sure to leave the door open.
Well, I mean, they're not going that way, right? They're going some other way.
They are going a different way.
Okay.
It's like you've came down one side, and at the other side there's all this like train of undead.
Yeah, going up the stairs.
Right, I say we avoid. Let's shamble off this way.
For now.
Very quietly.
They don't seem to notice us, so that's cool.
As quietly as possible, people.
Yes. So let's all sort of go together with the torches and go to the left of the cave so we don't go into the shadows.
As you start walking into the middle part of the cave and walking, you hear something. It sounds like something on one side of the cave. And as you look over, you see something has just like jumped from shadow to shadow.
Oh jeez, that's really scary, guys.
Everybody freeze.
Well, we are all
go on.
freezing already, so yeah.
I mean, there's not much else I can do, to be honest.
No,
Pretty
in the
cold
book.
in here.
In the book.
Box.
In the book, they suggested not to move. They're attracted to movement. Don't move.
That's
What are they?
T-Rexes.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
No.
What's a dinosaur?
Can Frankie just like show them the book that they've like
Yeah, you can.
read? It's like it says in here.
Stop moving around so much, Frankie.
I'm just gonna freeze.
Okay. Can everyone do me a stillness check, please?
Oh no, it's doing.
Yeah.
You're all gone really frozen. Stu's still moving kind of subtly, just going like, I don't see what the problem is.
I'm just gonna
And
glare at
The
her.
rest of you all notice this. It's about the same height as a normal man, but it's very, very spindly thin. Begin to like creep very slowly out of the dark and move around as if it's stalking Stu.
Oh, look out, sir.
Who are you calling, sir?
Just
Oh my god.
Hey, I
Always
think he's
get
talking to me.
shit.
Frankie's
I
just
think
like
he's talking
panicked.
to you, doll.
Frankie's just giving her like panicked looks, going.
Okay.
I'm
yes.
holding my pose, which was the...
Right,
I don't
Stu,
know.
give me a roll to see if you notice the creature.
Yeah.
You notice it and begin to try and be a bit stiller as it begins to sort of circle around. It seems to grin, and it's got these quite enormous fangs. They're about twice the size of normal, like, humanoid teeth. They look like they're very much sharpened.
Yeah. I grin back.
Okay. So this thing slowly does a lap of you all and then descends back into the dark. What do you do?
Well, I stay still is what I do.
Yeah, take a breath.
Well,
Long,
guys,
deep breath.
you should probably sort of edge slowly closer to me over here, and then we can sort of edge really, really slowly over to the left side of the cave and see if there's anything there.
Yep.
Okay. Are you going to edge your way towards the left side of the cave?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll.
Very
All of us.
carefully and very slowly.
Yeah.
Nope. Frankie is not very balanced.
Frankie makes a loud crack on the floor.
I dropped the book.
You drop the book and you're like, fuck! But as you get to the left side of the cave, you notice that on the left of the cave there's this elaborate door which has got this carving of a dragon on it.
Ah, it's the door.
The dragon door.
It's like a massive stone door. It's about maybe 10 foot tall, maybe about 8 foot wide, and it's like a double door again.
Hey guys, it's double the height of Studor. Or I mean, not really, but
Wait, you're 5 foot tall?
no, I'm actually 7 foot tall. But I mean, you know, I'm
Gotta
not.
work on those math skills.
Yes, I know how to count, but not that high.
Double digits are tricky.
Yes, that's why I've got 10 of them.
Frankie's going to use his staff to, like, drag the book over.
Just scraping along the ground really noisily.
Here's
Evidence! Evidence for that stupid Baron!
As you're pulling it towards you, you eventually do pick it up, but you hear. And you see 3 or 4 of them now coming out the shadows, beginning to move around you, as in it's not sure what you are.
Oh, fuck. I'm going to just, like...
It's around the group of you, not
freeze.
just you, but yeah.
I'm just going to freeze again on my hands and knees. Fuck.
Everyone do me a balance check.
I was doing so well. And then I did something stupid.
Oh gee, guys, I'm so balanced here.
Try not to roll over in there.
All of you are high enough that there's no immediate problems, but again, it does seem to like look like they're trying to work out what you are, and they kind of go around the edge. And as they get closer, you do seem they are incredibly humanoid in nature, but they've got these long, sharp talons on each hand, and they've got these fangs. They look and they smell when they sort of like screech near you. The smell of death on their breath is just incredibly overpowering. And as they begin to slink back to the shadows, you notice that there's at least 2 or 3 more in the shadows that seem to not be brave enough to come forward. What do you do?
We've all met worse at the end of a night out.
Yeah, maybe we should try to, you know, open the door.
Yeah, let's
Just
get this
keep it
door
moving.
open as
I'm never-
quickly as possible.
Mum never let me out on the night Mr. Igneous dead, sir.
That's fine. You're getting all sorts of new experiences today, Tyke. Being headless.
Yeah, I've never
Going
been
in
in
a
a
cave.
head box before.
See? Don't say I never take you anywhere.
So we're gonna try and open this door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
How are you going to try and open it? Are you going to push it? Are you going to pull it? Are you going to cast something on it? What are you going to do?
I'm gonna cast because the book says magic because they said they tried physical attack and nothing helped.
Okay, so
So
are you
let's-
going to Arcana or what are you going to do?
Yeah,
We
I'm
might,
gonna
you know-
Arcana.
Try to just pull it open first.
Okay.
We can try and pull it open. Try and pull it open first then.
You do me a strength check and Frankie does me an Arcana check and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay.
And I'm just going to keep an eye on the shadowy creatures while they're doing it.
Okay. You cast your Arcana on the door, trying to work out what it is, and you seem to get a very strong Arcana sensation at the neck points of the dragon and the wrist points of the dragon. As far as Stu goes for shoving the door, you shove the door as hard as you can. You hear it crack, as in move very, very slightly, but would require at least 2 or 3 more people to help you to push it open.
Breaking a lot of rock today, Stu.
Oh yes, you know me. Just watch this babe go.
I don't know you
Can I-
that well, but
Let me examine the parts of the dragon, the neck and the ankles, you said.
The neck and the wrists, effectively.
The neck and the wrists.
Well, it's the kind of the ankles of the dragon, but yeah, it's the kind of like... The dragon is depicted like quite spread out, as in like... You know the drawing of the man where he's standing like with his arms out and his arms down, arms
Yeah.
up? It's like that, but it's with a dragon.
Okay. Is there a rock that looks like it needs to be turned or something?
You notice that there is something, it looks like a necklace on the neck of the dragon, and it looks like it's got anklets and basically anklets and bracers.
Okay, can I twist? I'm gonna roll to try and turn them in the right
roll.
position. Someone give me a hand with this.
You turn the necklace, there's an audible click. You move to try and turn the bracers and anklets. They don't seem to move, but you realise that if you put your hand in the gap, you could possibly turn it from there. Do you want to do this?
Yes, but I'll use the hand that I've already got a scratch on.
Roll to see how you get on. You slide your hand in and you begin to turn it. It turns very easily. And as it turns round, you hear a loud click, as in the door seems to be opening. A large iron spike shoots through your hand.
Well,
So the door is now open and beginning to open, but Frankie is pinned where he is, and the blood begins to seep down the door. You hear a sound of from the shadows as things seem to smell the blood and start moving closer.
I'll just try to get Frankie free.
Hey, that's very
You're gonna
brave of you to stay there.
Are you just going to tug Frankie out of where he is?
Frankie's looking around going, "You're not cutting my hand off. You're not cutting my hand. I just got this hand back. You're not cutting this hand off."
So what do you suggest me to do then?
well, let's pull you off the spike, and then I'll pour some cider on it and cast heal.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's very brave of Frankie to stay there and distract all the monsters for us.
You shut your face!
Oh, Frankie, I never knew you were such a hero.
I'm wondering if the shadows eat heads.
Come on! Let's go, guys! I'm kind of...
Okay, how are you going to get Frankie off the spike?
I mean, is the spike shooting out of the hole through his hand, or is it shooting
Basically,
like
imagine
in the
his
door?
hand is inside the stone to the wrist. The
yeah.
spike is through the palm of his hand.
Ah, okay.
I've basically tried to unleash the Scorpion King army and had my hand
Yeah.
impaled.
Was there any other
good
hole
callback.
that we could sort of twist to undo it? Did you see anything, Frankie,
No.
or anything?
Frankie's slowly realizing you're gonna have to chop his hand off. He's
Well-
not happy about this.
Or we could just pull it out, and just maybe it will tear up between your fingers,
So I'd
But,
have a stump as a hand.
Well, we can maybe heal it afterwards, but maybe it won't lose your whole hand. So Frankie, do you want me to tug really, really hard?
Can I look over Stu's shoulder to see how the shadows are doing, actually?
Roll and see what you see.
I've got my mace out, just kind of watching the shadows.
No, in fact, Whispers is looking as well.
Okay. You see a couple of them moving around the shadows. You've seen about 6 or 7 of these creatures.
There's more. Let's just go. Let's just. I don't want to look. You.
I don't think we should spill as much blood, that much blood.
Yeah. Let's do a clean swing, and
You just lop it off. We got a lot of time here, guys.
I don't think we have much time. So let's just do the quick thing and go.
Yeah, and then chuck the hand in the box. I'm getting kind of hungry.
Guys,
It's been a while since I ate anything.
get a torch ready. I will pull, and then you sort of cauterize the wound really quickly. Are you ready?
Who's cauterizing?
I'm not cauterizing, I'm just going to cast heal on it.
Okay.
I suppose I'll cauterize it with my hat.
One.
I can't.
2.
You slam your sword down. You get about a third of the way through Frankie's wrist. Blood starts spraying into the wall. Frankie rolled and not scream.
Oh no.
Frankie manages to hold in the scream as I said about a third of his hand is cut through. He wanting
takes
to
it
try
like that.
again.
Yes, we're going to try that again.
Does another hack, misses the original cut by about a centimetre. This time you get about halfway through.
I'll roll again. Just
I
not
mean, I was
scream.
actually tugging Frankie, but no matter.
Okay. You can tug Frankie now, about over halfway through, so you could possibly snap it. Are you gonna tug Frankie now?
Yeah, now we're tugging Frankie. Here we go.
Okay. You rip Frankie from his hand. He's now got a very uneven bits of skin hanging from his wrist.
I very quickly cast heal on,
Okay.
on
Frankie
Frankie.
does spray blood all around before you get a chance to cauterize the wound. All around you is now covered in Frankie's blood.
Do I roll a See if I pass out or not.
No, you're conscious enough because they'll just get you back awake, but
Okay.
Yeah.
your hand has kind of got very uneven skin now.
Maybe
Let's
that'll
go.
teach you to stop pulling people's arms off, Frankie.
Let's go inside the door really quickly and close it. Come on, guys.
So you push the door inwards and it opens very gingerly. Are you gonna all run inside and shut the door?
Yeah,
Preferably.
What do you see in there?
Yeah, let's check the door first before check what's inside it before we decide to go in.
As you look inside, you see it's very, very dark. But inside you see something green glowing quite strongly.
Yep. Stu is just gonna go in. He's just... Come on, guys, get inside quickly now, before the shadows take you.
I ain't got really much control over my own locomotion here.
Okay,
so
well, I guess if we're all going in.
you all kind of very quickly shamble inside as these creatures begin to move towards the door. And as you close the door behind you, you hear the sound of and something scratching quite strongly as you hear the sound of as it seems the door is locked behind you as they've removed Frankie's hand.
Yes.
Oh, I was
Let's-
kind of hoping I'd get that hand. I haven't eaten in a while, guys.
You ain't got a stomach, you'll be alright.
Yeah, but I still feel pretty hungry. I don't really get the mechanics of it, but that's how I feel.
I'm sorry, you won't be
I've got
feasting.
a stomach to tell you it's full.
Yeah, it's probably that, what she said.
So, you're now inside, it looks like some kind of sacrificial chamber. As you hold the torch up on the wall in front of you, there seems to be a dragon pinned to the wall with enormous, like almost railroad spikes. Basically, its wings are out and it seems to be pinned by the edges of its wings, the middle point of its wings, and its legs. So
What colour is it?
It is a green dragon.
Okay, it's not the purple shadow one. That's fine then.
Well, you don't see that every day now, dear.
Around its neck is this very strong green gem, which seems to be pulsing. And as it's pulsing, you notice that there are chains going out to the left and to the right of it. The green pulse seems to go along the right side chain into a rune, and that rune seems to keep pulsing green.
What does the rune look like?
It looks like the symbol you saw on the floor of the jail cell.
Yeah. What does the chain that goes to the other side?
It looks exactly the same, goes to the exact same rune, but it's only glowing very faint green. It doesn't seem to be energized like the other side is.
Is it
Right.
on its right or our right?
Facing
Stage
into the
right.
room, it's on your right.
The one that's
So
not glowing.
The one that's glowing, sorry, is on your right. The one that's not glowing is on your left, facing the dragon.
So the one that's glowing is the one the same side as all the undead were.
Yes.
Yes. So it's
Right.
probably calling the undead. So guys, we should probably sort of deactivate it somehow so the undead won't be lured away.
Can everyone roll me a d20 first to see if you find anything on the floor?
Oh yes.
Natural 20. On the floor in front of you, you see a very broken body, and as you sort of examine the body closer, you find a quite elaborate looking steel sword and a crown.
All right.
Dibs.
I will take the sword and I will pick up the crown, but I won't put it on my head.
Learning.
Does the steel sword have any nice properties for damage and stuff
It's
like that?
a very well crafted steel sword. It does 1d12 damage.
Sweet.
It looks like it has been blessed.
Frankie, do you want to do an arcana check on this sword for me?
I'd love to, but I'm a little bit armless right now, as I have one hand. I'm sure Iggy's about to give me his cider.
Okay, can we just heal up Frankie?
I thought I already did, but alright.
You've healed up Frankie. Frankie now has one working hand, one other hand which has been got two quite deep scars on his wrist, but seems to stop at the wrist.
So we got a few options we can go with, Frankie. We can give you the old, glove-shaped immovable hand. We've got just in for this season is the new scissors attachment if you ever need to get some stationery done in bulk format. We can put some kind of just like wrecking ball thing on there, or there's always the classic jerk-off motion.
Yeah, or a hook, if you would like to.
Well, I kind
That's a
of
bit
need.
played out.
I kind of need something that I can grab my staff with.
Jerk off hand it is.
Not that stuff.
Look, I'm not judging, and it's one size fits all, so...
I'm just gonna glare at them all.
You can adjust the tightness with a crank.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's quality workmanship here. You know, you turn this little Allen key, and the fingers move in and out. I'm getting very good at this sort of stuff.
Yeah, you gotta hand it to him, Frankie. That's pretty good craftsmanship.
Oh, the pun. The pun.
All of this is, of course, dependent on us getting back to some kind of forge.
Yes.
Yes. I'm gonna roll an Arcana.
I'm quite the good smith as well, but do the Arcana check, please.
Yes.
Look,
Hey,
it's not a competition.
I used to be a good smith, but then I got a body, so what do I know?
The sword seems to have been blessed to do holy damage.
Cool.
And as you look at the blade itself, you realise that both sides of the blade, 'cause it's a double-edged blade, it seems to have a very light coating of silver.
Ooh, that's good for vampires.
Oh, hashtag blessed.
Good for werewolves. I don't think that vampires take much damage from silver, but
Ah, I thought they were civil. They took
You hit them hard enough with anything, it'll take damage.
yeah. I mean that's a sword to the heart works as well. So,
Give me a carrot and enough velocity, I'll kill the vampire.
can we see anything other, not something else of interest in this room? Because
What,
Well-
the big dragon on the wall is not enough for you?
well, I mean,
There's the dragon on the wall, there's the gem around the dragon's neck, there's a couple of bodies lying around. You do notice when you look to the left and to the right of this room, there does seem to be a way out on each way, but it seems to have a very thick old portcullis in the way that doesn't seem to want to move.
okay. So, guys, how do you suggest we sort of make this gem not be active on the right side as well on the left side? Any suggestions?
No.
Is there any with the gem out of the wall? Or is it
Well,
stuck?
the gem does seem to be around the dragon's neck, so
So we could just take the neck.
Necklace off, yeah.
Yeah. Is it quite high up? Or.
you know, it's about the height of a dragon up. So that's maybe about 30 feet, maybe?
So how do you think we're gonna get up there?
I could throw you, Frankie.
You could climb the dragon if you wanted.
Just real quick, the dragon's dead, right?
The dragon doesn't seem to be breathing and looks like it's quite decayed.
That's a
Okay.
good start.
That if it's decayed, that's cool because otherwise it just, it just spiked the wall. So.
Well, one sec. I want to put a couple of crossbow bolts into the dragon.
Okay, roll.
You guys see that, but that would also describe me, to be honest.
You shoot a crossbow bolt into the dragon, it sunks into the dragon's leg, you hear a faint from the dragon,
See?
and its head leans down and looks towards you and says, "Have you returned to kill me?"
See,
Mate.
I told you it was alive.
Oh dear. You poor thing.
We haven't returned to kill you anyway. Can you tell us how to, turn off the gem around your neck or save you or something like that?
Stop the undead.
The dragon sort of looks at you very wearily, like it's taking its last effort to try and talk to you, and it tells you that it has been imprisoned for a very, very, very long time, and the gem holds the power to reanimate life.
So if we were to remove the gem from you, would you be revitalized?
But the opposite, really.
She tells you that the gem used to be the pride of her kingdom, and it's now being used because she got caught by the vampire. If she wants her kingdom to be freed, she needs you to take the gem to her homeland.
Road trip.
Where's your homeland then?
She tells you it's the shining gem of Valdari, which all of you immediately recognise as that dead swamp that's about a couple of 100 leagues out of town. It's been nothing but marshland and zombies for as long as you've all heard.
So as long as this gem's been being misused, then.
Seems so.
Yeah. So if we remove the gem from you, the undead will stop going and you will be sort of fine or...
I don't think she's going to be fine once we take this gem, but
She makes a
Raise
sort of
them.
very pained breathing sounds and tells you that she will grant you whatever power she has left as long as you free her and take the gem to get it cleansed.
Okay, guys.
Sounds like a good plan. How do we get up there?
Sounds like a good
Police?
plan, yeah.
No, she's pinned to the wall, so she can't really do anything. You can just climb her if you want.
Yes.
Does she mind if I climb her?
She can't really do anything about it either way.
I know, but I can ask to make sure she's all right with the idea rather than just trying to climb up her.
You can, yes. You ask her, and she sort of emits a pained cry and just sort of gives you a get on with it look.
Then I will try and climb up her to see if I can figure out how to release
Go,
the
Whispers.
So when you get to the top, you find that the necklace itself seems to be like woven into the chains that go to the left and right, but does seem to be attached to the back. So you could probably remove the dragon from the necklace, but you would have to find a way of cutting the necklace out from the chains.
What about me trying to hit the chains with the newly found nice sword?
You could try that if you wanted.
Well, I'm just checking with the guys. Does that seem like a good idea, or...?
Yes, I think this creature's suffered enough. I
Could we
would
just
rather
take the
not-
dragon's head off?
No. Give
Or
her
should
her
you just-
dignity, at least.
I mean, it's a necklace.
Well,
I'm
I
trying
mean-
to find out where the catch is.
Also, nothing undignified about being decapitated, Tyke.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's a bit hard to get around, and
Yeah, it
I
happens
don't
to the
really
best
have a
of
lot
us.
of control over what happens to me in my day-to-day life. But I guess it's okay. I gotta be
beginning to
with my
think-
dad.
If you roll me a tinkering roll to try and unhook the necklace.
I'm thinking that Igneous just wants more heads to go around with, yeah.
Yep, you unhook the necklace. As you unhook the necklace, you sort of pull it from the chains, and immediately you hear a sound of as the glowing begins to fade from the rune to the side. As you climb down the dragon asks you to unhook her from the wall. What do you do?
Yeah, I'll unhook her.
So
Can
over the
I-
next 5 minutes, you pull all these like spikes out of her. She shrinks back down and then turns into a humanoid form, wearing very sort of like scrappy robes, and she tells you that all she has to offer you is this. Please take her necklace to her homeland. And as she sort of hands you this bag, she seems to effectively curl up. Do you want to ask her anything before she passes off, or...?
You don't happen to have a body in that bag, do you?
She gave you a small bag.
Yeah, I want to ask her if the vampire that trapped her is still alive.
She tells you that she's unliving. She might still return, but she will have no power over the undead if the necklace is clean.
Frankie's just going to try and make her as comfortable as possible. Feel sorry for her.
Okay.
Poor dear.
Yeah, Frankie and the ladies.
She was trapped, tortured. It's a wonder she hasn't gone mad.
So, do we now have the necklace, or we need to
Yes.
cut it off
I'm assuming
from
it's in the
the
bag.
walls?
You now have the necklace.
Yes, I have the necklace.
You have the necklace and you have a bag.
What's in the bag?
You open the bag. Inside there are 3 smaller bags. They feel very strongly archaic. Are you wanting to examine one, Frankie?
Yes.
Okay. Roll to examine the bag. You take the bag, you go, "What's this?" And you sort of throw it into your hand, try and work out what it is. A cloud fills Frankie. After the crowd's run, Frankie has his hand back.
Huzzah!
Oh, come on.
One of those clouds again, yes.
Hey, stick me in the
have-
bag.
You have 2 more of these small bags.
Who's missing limbs?
I think Igneous is...
Yeah, I've been missing some stuff.
I mean, I'm missing 1 or 2 guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, chuck us in the bag.
Dude. Okay, out of character, Belray, which one would you put me to help resurrect?
Problem
I
is
mean,
that
it's
they're all in
the-
one
yeah,
form.
They're
That's
kind of
true.
in the one head.
So, unless you want to resurrect the zombie Tyke Danny hybrid,
I don't think we want to do that. No.
I'm not going to make that decision.
I'd
I'm
like to
going
have
to
my
leave that up
fingers
to
back.
Igneous.
They would be rather useful.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I've got some stuff I wouldn't mind having back, just saying.
well, you have 2 sort of bags of this dust left. It's up to you what you do with them. You can keep them or you can use them.
It's okay, Dad. I know your needs are important, Dad. Don't worry about.
Yeah, he wants to make more Danis, or
Just want to be
more
able to
Tykes.
piss in a straight line.
Yeah, don't worry about your son.
I'm thinking,
I think
it's-
Igneous needs one.
I'm thinking we maybe save them for drastic injuries.
There's a literal
I mean, I could have
colander down
quite
there at the
happily-
moment.
I could have happily lived without my hand, but it's miraculously back again. But someone might lose an arm or a leg next time.
Yeah, let's keep him. That's a good idea.
But it doesn't mean that there's 2 bags there. You can steal them if you want to.
Yeah,
no,
well, I mean,
no, don't
Ignis
worry.
doesn't have even one bag, so I mean, hello.
Uncalled for. I met you today.
That's a little bit. That was nasty.
Yes, it was.
Stu, admit that was nasty.
That was nasty.
Apologize to Ignis.
Not in
No
a good
way in
way,
hell.
nasty either.
No, exactly. It was a mean.
Well, I mean, I don't even have a bag either, so equality and all that.
You didn't
mean-
start out with one though.
I ain't even got nothing, just saying, guys.
Well, you got a hat box.
To be fair, Danny,
Get
you're
a
over
box.
here 'cause
While everyone's arguing about it, I'm going to pick up one of the bags and stash it. Not use it, but just stash it in my pack.
Okay,
They were busy arguing.
that's fine.
Let's just remember that
I
she's
have one
not
just
gone.
in case.
Hey, it's fine. It's not like you guys murdered me or anything like that.
So, what do you guys think? Should we take the left door out of here, perhaps, since that way seemed more clear than the right way?
Yes, I think we'll avoid the shadow creatures as much as
Okay,
possible.
how are you going to get the portcullis open?
Oh yeah.
Can we look see if there's any switches or anything like that anywhere around?
You can do a dungeoneering roll, yes?
Yeah. Let's see, Asa.
You find that right next to where the portcullis is, there seems to be a loose stone in the wall. As you kick it, you hear a sound like old mechanism, and the portcullis begins to rise.
Sweet.
Nice work, Stu.
Thanks.
And whispers.
Let's just try to go out this way, but still be really careful and have our torches high and, yeah.
Hey, I could maybe help carry some of those torches if I had a body, just saying.
As you walk into this, you hear the sound of... And from the shadow in front of you, you can feel the eyes of one of those creatures looking at you. What do you do?
Move really slowly, guys. Really, really slowly.
Okay, can everyone do me a balance to move slowly?
Oh, jeez, I think it's pretty close, guys. I can hear it, guys.
Stop. Oh no.
Yet
It's like
again,
right there.
Frankie stands on something sharp, and there's a loud and the creature goes and you hear more banging on the big door outside as this creature begins to move from the shadows and looking like it's trying to examine Frankie.
Is he right up at my face or?
He's right up at your face, yes. You can smell the stench of it's like rancid corpse on his breath.
So
just like-
guys, should I try to, use my holy sword and swing at it?
Yes,
Or-
please.
Do you want to do that?
At least try and aim for shoulders or something.
Okay, roll. You swing, it dodges you immediately, and in response... natural one.
Nice! Oh my god.
It
that's
staggers backwards, accidentally standing on a helmet that was loose on the ground and crashes into the wall. The noise is immense. What do you do?
Run?
Well,
we
is there a
run?
door to run to,
There's a door you can run through, yes?
Yes.
Let's run.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you all run through the door.
Let's close the
you
door.
find yourself at the end of the long corridor that you were at before, or at one end of the long corridor you were at before. There looks like there's maybe about 300 meters between you and the to where you put the rope down. So are you just
Yeah.
gonna run as fast as you can to get there?
I think it's probably a good idea, guys, to run. What do you think?
I mean, with all that noise, they know we're here.
Yeah. And it didn't seem to be that much shadow guys in here before, so...
No.
Let's run.
I see you run.
Yeah, Dad. Don't leave me here. Just run.
Let's run, and whoever's first at the door start getting the planks out from underneath it.
Everyone roll me a balance, please.
Whoop.
Oh no.
So
At least make sure you fall forward, Dad.
Frankie and Whispers sprint towards the door and start climbing their way up the rope to get out towards the main door. Igneous and Stu, and linked to this, Danny and Tyke, get cut off by one of the creatures who seems to have, two of them just bolt into the room and sort of cut them off between them and Frankie and Whispers.
Oh
Can-
jeez.
What are the two of you going to do?
I freeze.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna freeze as well.
Okay. See what they do when they burn in. They notice the two others running and they start after them. But once Whispers and Frankie get up through the doorway, they it's something that seems to be stopping them going any further. and they seem to sort of start like just peeking around the door after them, kind of like unsure how to continue.
As soon as they're facing away from us, we just want to start like creeping
Really,
along
really
a little
slowly.
bit.
Yeah, really, really slowly, just edging our way there.
Yeah,
Okay.
we want to close that distance.
All right, do me a balance roll again.
So they're still in the way, but
Yeah, they're still in the way, but
we're closer to our exit.
Fuck's sake! Oh.
Stu makes a noise somehow, and the creature shoots back. Two of them are now basically looking right in Stu's face, as in they're about, let's say, about 6 inches from her face, just going. What do you do?
Time for us to make a noise at the other end.
Okay, roll to make noise. Yep, you make a noise at the doorway, and the two of them bolt after you towards where the doorway is. So it's now coming to where you and Frankie. So can you and Frankie both do me balance checks to see if they immediately jump you?
Oh no.
Oh, Frankie.
Oh no.
They swing attack at Frankie. They don't hit him.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
you
God.
you keep him busy, hero.
Frankie's just gonna jump back.
Okay,
Ah.
it's now back to Igneous and Stu.
Carrying on moving towards that door, but like with an eye on them as like keeping myself
Okay.
at a moment's
I'll have
notice being able to,
I'll have it that you get through the doorway, so you're now very close to where everyone is, but can you do another balance check to see if they notice you?
Fuck me.
They definitely notice Igneous. They don't notice Stu. So they charge again towards Igneous, and again, about 6 inches from your face, emit a very loud, like... What do you do?
Well, I've sort of really, really, really quietly whispered to Igneous that, like, don't you have a little friend that do lightning things and move about in the air?
Not anymore, it got cut off.
Oh,
No.
Hey, low blow, doll, low blow.
Yeah, I just want to, we never really said how Chris got summoned, but I want Chris to just be, come flying past them out of nowhere.
Alright, roll to see how he gets on. Yep, he appears from nowhere, zaps one of them, and starts moving down the corridor away from you. The two creatures sprint after him, and you hear the sound of him getting caught, but because he's rock, he can't seem to be getting bit, so...
Okay, with them distracted, we want to really
we
get
can
out.
just go, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of you run out the door. Are you closing the door behind you, or are you leaving it open?
Summon Chris back.
That's a good point. Yeah, I want to summon Chris back to me while these guys are closing the door.
Yeah, do you need to summon Chris back, or can
That
you just
was,
disappear?
I wasn't sure about that.
The creatures come barreling after you with Chris.
Oh no.
How are you going to get Chris out of the door without shutting it?
Well, can we close the door at the same time that Chris comes through, like really, really?
Yeah, I got. You want to leave like a
Dramatic
real small last second gap because in my mind, Chris is like the size of an Easter egg.
Yeah, and then when he goes through the bottom, he reaches back for his hat that fell off.
Okay, roll me to see how that gets on.
This can only go well.
I imagine
Chris
that we're all
bounces
there.
off the door as you're closing it.
Oh, balls.
Oh no.
I don't really appreciate the fact that you guys are more
Two
concerned about a
creatures are
rock
on the other
than
side
my
of the
body.
door, scratching at it. What are you going to do?
Wait a while, see if the scratching dies down.
Can we just open a really, really small splinter and I can just stick out my sword through it?
You can try if you want, yeah?
Yeah, so that they can't get in, but my sword can get out.
Okay, roll to see how you get on. Yep, you open the door, you stick your sword out and try and poke it around. How do they react? They grab your arm.
Can we try and grab Stu and pull them back?
Okay,
Frankie
So-
going for the two characters' arms being ripped off.
let's have this.
Nope. 7.
Okay, Stu,
Whispers.
roll to see how you get on. Natural 1.
Oh.
Stu gets her arm ripped off. So,
Sorry, that was a really evil laugh from me.
Igneous, roll me a d20 to see if Chris has managed to escape while this has happened.
Oh,
Yep.
hell yeah.
So, Chris has
good.
managed to escape, but you've lost Stu's arm and her sword.
I can build her another one.
Well, we
It's
need
both-
the sword. We need that sword, so fucking try to...
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Frankie, give me a fireball through the spring of the door.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
want to see, guys.
I'm gonna poke my staff through, over
Okay.
her head,
Roll it.
above her.
Right,
Duck.
Frankie. Frankie's some kind of holy man. Can't he just bless another sword?
Can everyone roll me a d20, please, to see if you're now on fire?
Crying out loud.
Stu's on fire.
Well, it's cauterized my wound though, so it's cool.
Hey, can somebody kick me around on the floor?
Frankie is significantly on fire, as is Whispers.
I'm so sorry.
I just want to say before we jump to any conclusions,
The creature,
that stew
Drop and
chick
roll.
still has most of her body.
the creature
just before we
takes
jump
a
to anything.
bite out of someone. It's either Frankie or it's Stu.
Oh no.
Decide amongst yourselves which one wants odd and which one's even, and I will roll before I roll. Does Stu or Frankie have a preference, odd or even, before I roll?
You go ahead, Frankie. Ladies first.
Oh, go up. Even
sort of.
then.
Okay, so if even it's Frankie, if it's odd it's Stu. It's Frankie. Time
Yeah.
for the table. Where does Frankie get bit? 12. Frankie gets bit in the right arm.
Is that the hand you just lost?
No, I
17
got my arm
back.
back. I got my
Broken.
hand back.
Yep, Frankie
Oh,
gets
yeah.
bit in the right arm. It's immediately quite a bad festering wound.
Oh, gee, Frankie, you just got
There's
that arm back
blood
as well.
pouring everywhere from Frankie's wound in his arm.
I'm just gonna take my healthy hand and grab with my other hand with the sword and drag it in real quickly and then close the
Okay.
door.
Roll. You try to reach with your other arm. You can't reach it, but nothing else really happens.
Someone else grab it, guys, so we can get out of here.
Ah, alright.
Yep. You reach in, you grab the arm. There's no resistance. You pull the arm and the sword with it back in.
Yeah, I'm gonna close the door.
Okay. So the door is now shut. Half of you are still on fire. I imagine you'll just put yourselves out in time.
Yes.
So you now have everything you went in with, apart from Stu is missing her arm, whichever arm it was, probably her dominant arm.
Yeah, the right arm, probably.
And Frankie has this bad bite on his right arm.
yeah,
Is it like poisoned or something? I'm imagining.
Well,
Imagine
you have been bitten by basically a corpse eater, so it's going to be quite badly infected.
Can we
Might
heat
be
it
ill
up?
for a few weeks.
Yeah. So, does anyone feel like, sharing some of that nice powder?
Look, I don't know what you heard. I'm not. I drink. I don't do that kind of stuff.
Like I
Frankie's
said,
like,
everyone
that
else.
powder.
If we just look at this from like a mathematical point of view, everyone else has still got most of their body. Just saying, guys.
Well, yeah, but we don't want a zombie running around with us, you know.
Hey, I ain't a zombie. I'm just an accountant and this guy's son.
And a zombie, yeah.
Hey, but the zombie's only a little bit.
I don't feel so good, guys. Could we just
mean-
go home now?
I haven't really been thinking about eating any brains for a little while, I'll be honest.
Yeah, let's head back.
I mean, I'd maybe nibble on a finger, but that's about it.
I'm thinking that maybe after we get back, we should try to go to the dragon swamp sort of thingy.
Okay. So
That's my next port of call anyway.
you
Yeah.
return to the city. You take a few days to heal up and get Frankie some medicine because he's very, very ill. And you begin to pack to leave to journey towards Valdari.
And collect our back pay.
Yes. You ask Baron Gregory about your back pay. He tells you that Danny was dealing with it all. Do you know where Danny's gone?
Yep, I hold up
Yeah.
the box.
Danny is gonna play dead for now.
That's a zombie head. Why have you got a zombie head in a box?
Oh, hi, Mr. Baron Gregory. I haven't seen you in a while.
Good God, why have you got his head in a box?
He's my son.
Yeah.
But that's unnatural.
Just take out a coin and dingle it in front of his nose, and you will see who also is in there.
A coin, you say? Right.
Yes.
Well, how about I give it to you? I don't want to go anywhere near that. It looks, bitey.
Well, yeah, you can give us our back pay then, because Dan is in there as well.
Right, well, Danny has all the ideas where all the back pay is. I mean, it should have arrived by now. I mean, he did give the correct address. I did ask him.
Oh, well, yeah.
Did we pick up Danny's satchel? Actually,
I think you did, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
can
had
we check?
evidence in
Can
it.
we
It was a
check his
pearl.
satchel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had evidence in it. That was the only thing it had in it.
Yes. Evidence and a pearl.
Okay, are you going to share this evidence with Baron Gregory?
Yeah, why not? I'm gonna show him papers.
Right, well, let's
Danny's dead. So.
This is definitely Danny's handwriting. I wonder where he sent the gold. He starts flicking through it. There must be some mistake here. It says instead of sending the gold to here, it's sent to some house.
Well, it's all in one place.
Yes, well, while you're away at Valdari, I will look into where this house is and make sure we can, get some people sent there and get all that gold brought to the right place.
In fact,
Not like
why don't
Danny
you
to
send
make a
us?
clerical error like this.
Why
I
don't you
doubt
send
it was
us?
an error.
Well,
Why don't you send us?
we can tell you where it is once you're back from Valdari.
Yes, why don't we leave it for when we come back?
Oh,
That
well.
could be on our way. Either way, we'd like to be paid.
Well, as I said, you'll be paid as soon as we send all this money from Danny, so that'll be fine. So, at this point, you all head off towards Valdari, complete with the mute Danny satchel.
Well, maybe if I had some arms, I could fill out the paperwork. I still think you guys are being pretty stingy with those bags. Don't you guys want a young boy to be able to play with his dad?
We don't, but I would like to have my arm back.
Hey, me and you both, but sometimes you don't get what you want.
I promise as soon as I'm all better, you'll get the powder to work and we'll have you fixed right up.
Thanks.
Right now, I'm not feeling very well.
No. I think you're actually healed now, but no matter.
But they said the sickness will linger.
It's gonna linger in Frankie for a while.
All right.
All
It'll
right.
take me a little while to bounce back.
Yeah.
It seems time has run out for this week at least. Join us again next week for more of this tale. These bard's tales were originally told to us around a campfire in a long-forgotten land as Descent, Journeys Through the Dark. They were adapted for this podcast by Nikolai Popsky. All music was written and performed by Daniel Boström. The cast of Plummet are Nikolai, Daniel, Bellery, Amy, AJ, John, and Ash, with additional content by Dragon. If you would like your own high fantasy dice, then journey to dndice.co.uk and use our name Penance RPG at the checkout for a 5% discount of your order. For what is a hero without shiny loot? As for us, we are but meager bards. If you would care to support our tales, you can buy us a grog or two, or Ko-Fi, as it is known in your parts, at ko-fi.com/penancerpg. If you would like to support us in future efforts, we have a Patreon at patreon.com/penancerpg. Farewell and good night, dear listeners, and remember that time will turn again soon. It's only a game, isn't it?
Oh, God.
It's not good. Okay.
Are we
that's
all just gonna look up kazoo songs?
it. Okay, well, I found this. Maybe you can drop it in the edit.
Okay.
But
Hang on, let me just... So, for listening home, here's 30 seconds of this song.
bearing in mind I've listened to the first two seconds.
Terrible.
I know, I did warn you.
Oh my god, I found a kazoo one as well of Let It Snow.
That is fucking terrible.
Hey, look, I don't listen to a lot of kazoo music. I just picked something that might be funny.
It does kind of work though, to be fair, and I do like that the picture is that of a kazoo bust. Although they look
Zoo
more,
with wheels.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
they put a lot of effort into that. You got to
look more
appreciate
like
that.
lorry wheels, to be honest.
Okay, let's just quickly have a listen to Let It Know.
I wasn't.
Fine Sandstormberry. We'll just put this in at the end of the episode extra of just the sounds of us listening to 30 seconds of this.
Let It Snow is fucking awful.
I immediately regret my decision.
Holy shit.
I
Right.
immediately regret my decision.
I can hear somebody listening to the Venga.
Well, I just listened.
Yeah, the Venga Bus. What the fuck?
I don't know.
So, next we have Leonida.
I would probably love to hear Spanish Flea as a kazoo song. Yes.
I've forgotten about this character.
Right, so let's have a listen to Sandstorm down in a kazoo.
It sounds like a room full of angry bees.
I'm just dying at Spanish Flea and Kazoo.
It's like Flight of the Bumblebee.
It's fucking terrible.
I mean, I did look for the worst version I could.
Well, the Spanish Flea one's a bit of a cheat because he's playing guitar as well. That was like the most listenable out of all of them so far.
That's the It's a Knockout song.
Yes,
I haven't thought about It's a Knockout in like literally decades.
probably for good reason. Right, and finally, Ash.
Now, Whispers in the Gloaming. She's Tabaxi's Shadow Walker. And my favourite piece of music to hear on a kazoo is 4 minutes and 33 seconds by John Kay.
It's a good choice.
Is that the silence one?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Good,
It's a
good.
very well written silence.
I just want to point out that It's a Knockout was a national trend. Like, I loved that show when I was a kid. They had people fighting in fat suits. It was great.
I don't think I ever watched it.
I remember they did an episode of it, or a version of it for charity with members of the royal family, which was quite fun. That was a long time ago. Though.
The Queen was on It's a Knockout.
No, the children were.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about Princess Anne being on it.
I didn't realise this. It was filmed in Alton Towers.
Are you just looking up facts about It's a Knockout now?
I looked up the Queen. Well, not the Queen, the royal
You
family
looked
playing
up
it.
the Queen. Don't look up the Queen. Queen doesn't like it when you look up.
Look, MI5, ignore that statement.
Shout out to the people spying on us at
Yep.
GCHQ.
Big Brother is watching you.
We have our
Brother's
own
watching
version
you. Not
of
very happy about
FBI memes America.
it. Oh god.
Shout out to whichever one of you has hacked my webcam.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have a webcam.
Yeah, I deliberately don't have webcam.
If anyone hacked it, they deserve what they get.
Yeah, yeah.
But we
Anyway,
probably
so-
should get all webcams and just do like a real podcast with our faces on as well.
No, mine will only exist when I get my dog, and I will have a 6-second loop of my dog looking very confused. And I will whip it.
Yeah, it's like that new meme with the hamster.
What?
Have you missed that one?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that
Which
one.
hamster?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like a gang talking like, what the fuck? And there's just like a picture of a hamster coming into the conversation with a fan in the background. Just like, what?
Right, you need to send me this. This is new for me.
Yeah,
I live in a box.
Flying
I'm quite happy I live in a box. Things we missed for this year in the National Day side is National Corn Chip Day, National Plan for Vacation Day, National Croissant Day, and National Backward Day.
Oh yeah, I found it. I found the.
So.
Go away.
That stupid hamster meme, yeah.
I found it.
You can't just copy and paste images directly into Discord.
Oh, there's a whole. There's
There's a compilation.
It's a little video, thing on that TikTok, whatever it's called.
Oh, TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, when did I become the guy who hates the thing that kids like?
There you have it.
You got old, Bellery.
Why does it have such human-looking lips?
Bellery, why do you have such problems with this?
Because hamsters don't have human lips.
That they do.
That one does.
I love that hamster.
Welcome
It's
to
awesome.
the Penance 2019 meme cast, everybody.
Yes.